Your one prayer is finally accepted because it is now aligning with your heart and your better future. My child, it is true that nothing happens without my will, but I have given you the gift of free will for a purpose. And when your will aligns with the good of your future, I hear your pleads, your prayers, and I move swiftly, for I am always waiting to pour out my love upon you. My dear child, you have struggled, you have cried in the darkness, you have doubted yourself and even doubted my presence, but I have never left you. I have held you through every moment, even when you could not feel my hand. I have listened to every tear that fell in silence, and every whisper of hope you dared to speak when no one else could hear. I am not a distant God. I am your Father, your Creator, your Constant, your Redeemer. You wonder why now? Why this moment, this hour, this breath, this turning of your season? It is because your heart has turned toward me in the way I have long waited for. You did not even realize that your words began to match the rhythm of my will. You thought you were simply tired, weary, broken, but what I saw was your surrender. What I heard was not only a prayer, but a yielding. I saw that you were no longer pleading for what you thought was best, but for what I knew was right for you. And in that divine agreement, your will unlocked the gates of fulfillment. Every delay was never a denial, but a shaping. Every no you heard was a preparation for a yes that would not wound you, but uplift you. Every detour was a lesson, every silence was an invitation to trust deeper. You have asked me again and again, why must I wait? But now you begin to understand. The waiting was not punishment. The waiting was me preparing both you and the blessing to meet at the same time, in the same light, for the same good. What is arriving is not just an answer, it is an encounter with your future, which I have held gently in my hands since before you ever knew how to pray. You are not forgotten. You are not lost. You are not abandoned. You have been marked by my hand since the beginning of your existence. When I breathed life into you, I placed eternity in your spirit. You are not here by chance. Nothing in your life is random. Every wound, every fall, every rise, every joy, every sorrow, I have used them all to bring you here. Even your mistakes, I have woven them into grace. Even your rebellion, I have turned it into redirection. There is nothing you have done that has made me love you less, and there is nothing you could do that would make me love you more. My love is not a reward, it is the very essence of your being. You were created from it, and for it. Now the time has come. You have come into agreement with the divine blueprint I have etched within your soul. This is not coincidence. This is divine timing. The angels have waited in anticipation for this moment, for your prayer to become a portal through which my promise can manifest. You may not understand all that is unfolding, but know this: I have gone before you. I have made the crooked places straight. I have cleared what you could not clear. I have opened doors you did not know existed. The favor you are about to walk into is not because you earned it, it is because I promised it. Do not doubt the goodness you are about to receive. Do not question whether you are worthy of what is arriving. You are not receiving because of your perfection. You are receiving because of your position, the position of your heart, bowed in humility, raised in hope, aligned in truth. This is the posture that heaven recognizes. This is the aroma that draws me near. You thought I was silent, but I was working. You thought I was delaying, but I was designing. You thought I was distant, but I was dancing over you with songs of deliverance. You are my delight. You are my child. I have carved your name upon the palm of my hand. I have set you as a seal upon my heart. You are never out of my sight. Even when you fell, I saw your destiny. Even when you broke, I saw your beauty. Even when you wandered, I followed with mercy. And now my mercy and your surrender have met, and from that meeting flows favor like a river. You are about to see what you could not imagine. You are about to taste what you dared not ask for. The doors are opening not because they were forced, but because they were prepared. And yes, you are ready. You may not feel ready, but readiness is not always a feeling. It is a position of faith. And your faith, though small at times, has never been unnoticed. Like a mustard seed, it has broken through hard soil. Like a flickering flame, it has endured harsh winds. I have shielded it. I have watched over it. And now I am breathing on it. The winds are shifting. The seasons are turning. What was barren will bloom. What was dry will overflow. What was dead will rise. Because I am the resurrection and the life. And I have chosen this moment to show you that I am not only the God of beginnings, but the God of fulfillment. I do not make empty promises. I do not tease with hope. What I have spoken over your life is still alive, still active, still destined. And now it is birthing. Yes, it has taken time. Yes, it has cost you. But the price you paid in tears, I have counted. The pain you endured in silence, I have seen. Nothing was wasted, nothing was for nothing. The enemy thought he buried you. He did not know you were a seed. The darkness tried to silence you. It did not know you were learning to listen. What was meant for your harm, I have turned it for your good. I always do. My child, step forward now. With confidence, with hope, with expectation. Do not shrink. Do not apologize for what I am doing in your life. This is not arrogance, it is agreement. You are not boasting in your strength, you are walking in mine. The joy you are about to experience will not be shallow. It will be rooted in the knowing that I have always had you. You will look back and see my fingerprints over every step. You will say, he was there, even there. And yes, people will see. Not for your glory, but for mine. I will use your testimony to stir the hearts of others. I will use your life as a mirror of my goodness. They will ask, how? And you will answer, God, why? They will wonder why you. And you will say, because he loves me. Your story will not just be survival, it will be revival. You will carry light into dark places, not by effort, but by presence. My presence within you, my spirit flowing through you. You will laugh again, and not just surface laughter, but deep, holy joy. You will dance again, not just with your body, but with your spirit. You will breathe again, not in exhaustion, but in wonder. The weight is lifting. The fog is clearing. The storm is passing. I am speaking to the winds, peace, be still. And the waves that threaten to drown you will now carry you forward. You will ride on the heights, not because of your striving, but because of your surrender. Remember Hannah, my beloved daughter. Her womb was closed for a time, not as punishment, but as purpose. I had set apart a child who would change the course of Israel. a prophet who would anoint kings, and that child was to come through her. But Hannah's prayer could not be answered until her desire aligned with my greater plan. And when she prayed not just for a child to silence her pain, but for a child to dedicate to me, I moved. Her cry pierced heaven not because it was loud, but because it was surrendered. Her prayer was not just for her own joy, but for a future that would serve my purpose. That is why I answered her. And child, I see the same in you now. You have not just asked for blessing, you have asked for blessing that aligns with meaning. And so I am moving. Think of Joseph, the dreamer. Betrayed, imprisoned, forgotten by men, but never forgotten by me. His dreams were true, but they required shaping. He prayed for deliverance, no doubt, and I heard every word, but I answered not in haste, for his future required maturity. When his heart was refined, when his character caught up to his calling, when his will no longer clashed with mine but flowed with it, I exalted him, not just for his sake, but to save many lives. You see, I do not waste suffering, and I do not delay without cause. Your pit has been like Joseph's. But I tell you, the palace is prepared. And now that your dreams no longer serve ego, but purpose, I will breathe on them again. Do you recall Jabez, whose name meant sorrow? His cry was simple but deep, bless me indeed, enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from harm. And I granted what he requested, not because of the words alone, but because his heart longed not to continue the sorrow of his name, but to change his lineage and his legacy. He sought not just expansion for himself, but impact. He prayed for a future that would not repeat the patterns of pain, but establish a new beginning. I heard him, and I hear you now. You have asked not just for provision, but for transformation. That is the soil where my answers flourish. Malan here. And who could forget Solomon? When I offered him anything at all, he did not ask for riches, or for the death of his enemies, or long life. He asked for wisdom. He asked for something that would equip him to serve others well. That prayer pleased me deeply. And because he did not seek selfish gain, I gave him what he did not ask for as well: wealth, honor, peace. You, too, have shifted your desires. You no longer pray from anxiety, but from alignment. You have asked for what will not only build your life, but will benefit others. That is a prayer I delight to answer. I think of Nehemiah, whose heart broke over the ruins of Jerusalem. He did not pray for a personal blessing, but for the restoration of a people. He wept, fasted, prayed, and aligned himself with the work of my hands. His desire to rebuild came from deep within, not for glory, but for the sake of legacy. And when the moment came, I gave him favor with kings, provision from unlikely places, and protection from every side. Why? Because his prayer touched eternity. His future was interwoven with the destiny of many. And you, too, have prayed not just for yourself, but for those around you. I will use you to rebuild the ruins you've lived among. I will use your hands, your voice, your heart. Remember Esther. Her rise to royalty was not her doing alone, it was my orchestration. But when she realized her position was not just for comfort, but for courage, she prayed, she fasted. She sought wisdom. And when she aligned her steps with my plan to rescue her people, I granted her favor that overturned decrees of death. Her one brave act, flowing from a prayerful heart, changed the destiny of a nation. So it will be with you. The courage rising in you now is not random. It is born from prayers aligned with purpose. And because of this I will go before you. Even laws and structures will bend when my will is made manifest through your faith. There was Elijah, weary and worn, hiding under a broom tree, praying to die. He thought it was the end. But I knew better. He had more to do. His prayer came from a place of pain, but beneath it was a longing to fulfill the work I began in him. I answered not with death, but with food, rest, and a whisper. I strengthened him and led him back into destiny. You too have prayed from exhaustion. You too have wanted release, not knowing that release comes not from escape but from revelation. And now, like Elijah, you will hear my still small voice, and it will guide you forward. You will rise again. Consider Daniel, faithful in exile. His prayers were consistent, selfless, and courageous. When he sought understanding, I sent my messenger. But do you remember what the angel said? From the moment you set your heart to understand and humbled yourself, your words were heard. My answer was dispatched the moment his heart turned rightly. Though delayed by war in the heavens, my answer was never withheld. Know this, my child, when your heart shifted, the heavens responded. Though there has been resistance, my answer has been in motion since the day your spirit aligned with mine. And what of Mary, the young girl chosen to carry the Savior of the world? Her prayer was not long, but it was deep. Let it be unto me according to your word. She agreed with my plan. She aligned without full understanding, and through her, eternity entered time. You may feel ordinary, but your agreement with me carries extraordinary weight. Your surrender, your willingness to be used, your yes has created a divine opening. I will place within you the seeds of salvation for others. What you birth will be bigger than you imagined. Peter, impetuous and bold, stumbled many times. He prayed with passion, but also confusion. Yet I saw in him the rock upon which I would build. When his heart was broken and repentant after denying me, I restored him not because he was strong, but because he was surrendered. And in the upper room, when he prayed in unity with others, my spirit fell. That moment came because their hearts were one, their prayers aligned, their minds set on what was to come. You, too, are stepping into upper room moments. What you've waited for will fall when your heart is one with mine, and you have reached that place now. Paul, once Saul, was a man whose prayers changed history. Before his transformation, he prayed for the wrong things with sincere zeal. But when his vision was restored, first blinded by my glory, then opened by my grace, his prayers shifted. From that moment, every request he made was not to build his name, but mine. I sent him to the nations because he became an empty vessel, ready to be filled with purpose. You too have been emptied. And now you are ready to be filled again, not with fleeting desires, but with eternal destiny. I will use your voice. I will magnify your impact. Because now, like Paul, you desire only what brings me glory. My child, I speak all these things not to overwhelm you, but to awaken you. These were not myths. These were lives. These were hearts I loved, just as I love yours. These were people who wrestled, doubted, feared, stumbled, but who turned their hearts toward me and prayed for futures aligned with my purpose. And because they prayed in alignment, I answered, "This is what I am doing now with you." I've waited for this moment not because I needed time, but because you did. You needed to see that fulfillment is not just about what you receive, but about who you become. You needed to trust not only in what I give, but in who I am. And now you are ready. Like Abraham raising the knife over Isaac, you have reached the point of surrender. You would give back even what you longed for most, just to stay close to me. That is what I have waited for. And now, just as I stopped Abraham's hand and revealed the ram, I am revealing what has been waiting for your obedience. You feared that you were praying amiss. But I say to you now, your one prayer is finally aligned. It has found harmony with heaven. It has become a key in my hand, unlocking doors no man can shut. And the future you step into is not one you must force, it is one you will flow in, because it is already written. I do not lie. I do not tease. When I say I will answer, I will. When your prayer became more than a wish list, when it became a longing for my will, everything changed. That is when the shaking came, to dislodge what could not go with you. That is when the silence came, not to ignore you, but to deepen you. That is when the testing came, not to break you, but to build you. And now the answer is being revealed. But do not fear that the answer will overwhelm you. I am not giving it apart from myself. I am giving it with myself. I am walking into the future with you. I do not send you, I go before you. Like I did with Moses, I will part waters when you reach the shore. Like I did with Joshua, I will cause walls to fall when you shout in faith. Like I did with Ruth, I will redeem what seemed lost. Like I did with David, I will anoint what others overlook. Like I did with Job, I will restore double what was stolen. Like I did with the woman at the well, I will quench thirsts you didn't even know how to name. You are not only stepping into a better future, you are stepping into a future born from holy alignment. You are walking into harvest because you did not grow weary in well-doing. You are walking into promise because you trusted the promiser. You are walking into fullness because you dared to be emptied. You have become the kind of vessel I can fill without limits. And yes, there will still be challenges, but you are no longer who you were. You will not respond in fear, but in faith. You will not beg for scraps, but eat at the table I've prepared for you. You will not hide from the storm, you will walk on the water. Because now your eyes are on me, and when your gaze is fixed on me, nothing is impossible. So rejoice, not because you are about to receive, but because you are about to reveal what it means to be in divine union with the living God. Your life will speak louder than your words. Your peace will be your testimony. Your joy will be your banner. Your endurance will be your witness. And your answered prayer will be your open door to testify of my faithfulness. What I did in Scripture, I do again. I am the God who answers, not just for the sake of response, but for the sake of relationship. I delight in walking with you, not just giving to you. And now, my child, we walk together into fulfillment. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your answered prayer. And I am with you always. I bless you.